American Architecture by Alice Trenholm and Trayden Pastor. American architecture began in the 17th century with immigrants from Europe bringing their building knowledge across the Atlantic. Applying techniques and styles they knew, architects had to adjust to the new environment. That is how colonial architecture was born, classified by gable houses made of wood with tall brick chimneys. The end of colonial era was influenced by new trends inspired by ancient Roman and Greek. This occurred simultaneously with the American Revolution, associating to new building style neoclassicism, express of elegance using column, proportion, symmetry, and decorative details. After the stock market crash in 1929 came the Great Depression and then Second World War. There was rising demand for inexpensive and simplistic housing in the suburbs. Mid-century homes were mainly characterized by minimalistic styles such as traditional, ranch, and the Cape Cod. Modern style linked to Industrial Revolution and introduction of advanced technology, machineries, and mass production of cast iron, steel, plate glass, and reinforced concrete. Modern architecture is simplification of form, rejecting traditional styles. Invention of elevator led to a new era of skyscrapers, assigned to Chicago School of Architecture that was a leading designer during late 1880s. Those skyscraper balanced aesthetic with practical, producing large square buildings, hosting shops and restaurants on the ground level, and containing rentable offices above. Louis Henry Sullivan was called a father of skyscrapers and one of establisher of Chicago School of Architecture. He was the first to copy the technical and stylistic graces of steel-framed buildings, keeping it square and crisp in their masses. He often preferred to Celtic revival decorations, ranging from organic forms to geometric designs. Chicago School focused on use of steel frame buildings with masonry cladding, large windows, and limited exterior ornamentation. Many skyscrapers contain three parts of classical column. The first floor functions as the base, and the last represents the capital, with ornamental detail and capped with cornice. Sullivan's trainee, Frank Lloyd Wright, recognized as the greatest architect in American history. He designed over 1,000 structures in his career of 70 years. He made a revolutionary statement designing structures with low horizontal lines and open floor plans. His philosophy of designing in harmony with nature was called organic architecture. One of his signatures is Guggenheim Museum in Manhattan, measuring a quarter of a mile. It loops around a central, large atrium topped by a huge dome skylight. A lift takes visitors to the top of the building, where a long ramp allows them to saunter back down. By the first half of the 20th century, modern architecture was fully merged, based on innovative technology and functionalism with emphasis on well-defined rectangular forms, use of modern materials and systems. And I will pass it on to Trayden.
Modern architecture is defined as a style of building that is aesthetic, functional, and simple. It involves sharp, clean lines and an easy-flowing layout. It is defined by its characteristics and minimalist exterior that speaks for itself. The less is more principle falls perfectly with the style. The simpler the design, the more pleasing it is to the eye. The most common thing with the style is the simplicity of exterior features or ornaments. Large windows and glass allow for large open spaces that bring natural sunlight in. This allows for the interior spaces to blend with nature as well as a free form of flowing activity. Architects have taken the traditional styles and adjusted them in a modern way. Modern architecture has made itself distinctive in ways such as the use of curved and straight lines that are visually appealing. The roof has its own style as it is steered away from the traditional hipped or gable roof. The roofs seen on these modern buildings are large and flat. They are known for having a broad roof overhang, which allows for more shade as well as projecting the house to the outdoors. Modern architecture embraces technology, culture, and the future. This style really wants to emphasize rectangular forms and the use of shapes. Many modern houses can be seen as multiple boxes connected in different sizes. The materials that are used for this style are wanted to be seen and shown off for their beauty. There is a variety of ways that modern architecture can be displayed. Each style will give off a pleasing aesthetic as well as fitting into the modern category. Different subcategories include minimalism, functionalism, and many more. Large, colorful panels give off a vibrant look of the exterior of a building. Other common vibrant looks are stained wood siding with the contrast of surrounding cement. Modern architecture uses a variety of materials for the construction of their buildings. Popular materials include concrete, wood, steel, aluminum, and cement. These materials are not only used for construction, but also used for their pleasant appeal in addition to the contrast of the building. Modern architecture realized the value of reinforced concrete, as there are many things you can do with it. With concrete, you can mold it to any shape you want with certain limitations. Concrete can be texturized as well. It is a recyclable material. Architects started becoming more conscious of the environment by trying to use more recyclable materials when they are designing a building. Concrete became very popular during the era of modern architecture. It has changed the design of buildings and bridges. Concrete changed construction as high-rises and larger buildings were now being built with more concrete than seen before. By using concrete, it is strong, durable, weather-resistant, and reduces the sound between units. Modern architecture has helped architects change the way they think and design buildings. New technologies such as 3D printers have changed the construction and design industry. Since the use of concrete for the style is very common, 3D printers can now create molds for concrete that can then be transferred to the site to help complete the build. Architects are innovators and are constantly pushing the limits for more efficient buildings. Materials that they use are meant for helping the environment as well as to recycle as much as they can. Steel is another common material and is used for structural purposes. These steel structures can be visible as they are visually appealing. Modern architecture shows us that the beauty is in simplicity. Thank you for watching.